All right, first off, like your phone case. We're the only ones in the country machining ours entirely out of titanium. So you have the lightest and strongest in the country. Right off the bat, there's a couple things that set us aside from the competition. First off, lighter, stronger, quieter than the rest. Second off, they're completely disassemblable. So just by hand, you can take the Nielsen device out. The Nielsen device is what allows you to shoot this on a semi-automatic handgun with a Browning action. So you can see on these are all screwed in, but you can pull them up. There's a spring in there. It allows a little bit of give so that your pistol can cycle. So with a 7/8 inch socket, fits over the top. You can unscrew the tension nut in here. I'm trying to do this all with the nut because I'm tearing my fingers up. And this breaks down into 4 different pieces. So you've got your tension nut, your spring, your piston, and your basket. These 2 pieces come stainless steel. This one's upgradable to titanium. But this is the piece that screws onto your gun. This one happens to be 578 by 28 inch thread pitch on the inside, but this piece isn't regulated. So you can get as many of these as you want in any commercial thread available. If you want to get something a little funky, we could probably talk to you about doing a custom one. But, so let's say you want to put this on a 1911. You have a threaded barrel for the 1911. You get a 570 by 28 inch thread, drop it in, run it on that. Down the road, you get something from HK that has a funky 16 by 1 left-hand metric thread. Order one of those, swap that out, drop it in, you'll feel it lock into place. Run a spring on it if you're running it on a semi-auto handgun, or a spacer if you're running it on a pistol caliber carbine, short barreled sub gun. And then your tension nut goes on top, tightens in with your 7/8 inch socket wrench, and then you drop that in, screw it in by hand. The other thing that sets us aside is our baffle configuration. Everything comes right out. First thing you notice when you put the Nielsen device in is head to toe you have a seal that keeps the fouling out from between the baffles and the tube. So you're able to get these in and out even after shooting a boatload through it. The other thing you'll notice just by holding that, everything's machined out of titanium. It's super lightweight, super strong. You can try to flex that in your hand. You're not going to crush it like a lot of the aluminum baffles out there. The other thing you'll notice is a patent pending feature right here. You have these teeth on the bottom, these notches on the top, and these ports on the side. So the ports are there to create asymmetrical gas dispersion as it's jettisoned through the suppressor. That's how a suppressor works. You just get as much turbulence as you can in each chamber as it works its way through the suppressor, and it slows down the gas so you don't have that pop at the end. What we found through testing is that you have better sound performance when you have these lined up, the ports lined up on a high pressure output, like on a handgun. If you're running it on a longer barrel, a low pressure output, like a sub gun or a pistol caliber carbine, you can rotate these 90 degrees, create a spiraling effect all the way down without losing the baffles. Yeah, now, cat-like reflexes, here we go. Glad you got that on video. So you can orient the baffles depending on what you're running it on. You're going to get 2 to 3 dB better sound performance by configuring this from low pressure to high pressure. It's not going to hurt anything if you just switch it back and forth. You're just going to optimize your performance.
Is there anything on the outside that shows the port?
No. What essentially the best way to do it is just looking straight down. If you can see the port going down, you're all lined up. If you stagger them, you just can't see it. That's a feature that we're talking about doing with the laser engraver, just making a mark on the outside. We do that with all our tests, so we know which ones we're testing to keep them organized, but right now it's just a matter of time and cost efficiency. But tube slides over the top, screws into place, you got everything configured for the gun that you're running. Another nice thing about having a disassemblable suppressor is a perfect example. Very recently we had a local law enforcement agency call us wanting to order another rifle can. One of their guys didn't have it screwed on all the way. And these are the guys coming to rescue you, by the way, if you ever get in trouble. He had a baffle strike on the inside. Monolithic core, welded tube. He just ruined his suppressor. You got damaged guts, it's done. You have a federally regulated, super expensive paperweight. With ours, If you don't have it threaded on quite right, you light one off, you have a baffle strike, you can send it back to us. We'll replace the damaged pieces, and the tube is a serialized part. So you get to keep the tube, you get to keep the serial number, we'll replace the gut, send you back a new repaired suppressor. So you have something that's able to be repaired and serviced. Aside from that, let's say down the road we have something, we find an even better, more effective way to suppress sound. And we offer a baffle upgrade. Same thing, you send it in, you pay for the, you buy the new baffles, we scrap your old ones, you keep the serial number, you have basically a new suppressor, don't have to go through the ATF again. These are rated, this is the Grenadier 45, it's rated for up to 458 SOCOM. That means you can run anything down from that. It's 458 SOCOM, 44 mag, 44 special, 45 long, 45 ACP, 45 gap, 40 Smith & Wesson, 357 SIG, 10 mil auto, 9 millimeter, 380, 32 Smith & Wesson, 32 auto, on down. Anything you can fit through that hole with less pressure than a 458 SOCOM, you can run through this. We're kind of calling this our universal pistol suppressor. This is our Minuteman. This is our 22 caliber suppressor, all titanium construction, virtually non-existent in your hand as far as weight is concerned, 3.9 ounces. This is rated for up to the FN57 and anything in between, 22 long, 22 short, 22 mag, 22 WMR, 22 Hornet, 17 HMR, and 5.7.
Get a fire the 5.7?
Yep.
They don't. Ever seen a 5.7?
Looks like a tiny little rifle round. It's pretty sweet. So you still have a hypersonic crack with that, but the nice thing about shooting suppressed with a hypersonic is it displaces the sound. So you have this sort of omniscient crack, but it's still hearing safe. We made the connection with that. We're looking at the back of that. You have 1/2 by 20 inch threads and a 22 caliber hole. All those guns over there have 1/2 by 20 inch threads and fire 22 caliber bullets. We figured someone down the line is going to connect the two and put that on an AR. So we decided to do the idiot test and screw that on a full auto M16 down in the basement and tie a string to the trigger and film it, see what happened. We got through 61 rounds out of a 100 round beta mag before we had a failure. And on this one, it was just these threads here that failed. It was a heat failure on these threads. It wasn't a pressure failure. There's no catastrophic failure. And on the 61st round, the tube popped off. The baffles and tube went down, tumbling down range. The end cap had a little chunk taken out from the 223. But again, the tube survived. So if that happened, if some idiot pops this on a full auto AR, we're probably going to chew you out for being a little stupid. But then we're going to replace the guts, and you get to keep the tube.
So you lifetime warranty?
Lifetime warranty, yep.
What's the hold right now for your federal?
It's running about 6 months these days. We've seen trusts go through in about 4 months. But yeah, that's the feds for you.
I feel one of these.